Welcome back, everybody. Good to see you again. I had recorded a whole video and I just realized that my microphone was turned off, and I didn't realize it till I tried to do the transcription and there was nothing to transcribe. So we'll give this another shot here. I just want to give a quick update on where I'm at with the developing the trading strategy. I just put a new version out there with a couple of tweaks and running it side by side along with a couple other versions of it to see how it's going to be doing. Markets over the past week have been relatively quiet, so the algo isn't really getting stress tested a whole lot, but we'll at least see how it does in these kind of calm conditions. I'm running a Bitcoin, Solana, and Doge all side by side in a few different versions of the algo to see how things do. So my last video I was talking about the order book imbalance and how I'm not really seeing a whole lot of predictive power in short-term pricing with Solana and Doge, but I am seeing a very, very strong correlation between order book imbalance and near-term price direction with Bitcoin. So trying to figure out if I should even be using that with Solana and Doge as far as adjusting my quotes based on where the order book imbalance is. And so the last version I had deployed was only or was not looking at the order book imbalance when trying to determine whether to skew the quotes up or down. And so I'm running that version side by side now with the previous version to see if that order book information actually is going to provide any sort of additional edge for the strategy. So I got that out and running last week, and then I made a new tweak that got put out into the wild today, and basically shortening the time to live of my orders before I'm refreshing the quotes. So I could potentially, in previous versions, have quotes that were sitting out there for hours before they'd finally get refreshed. And my rationale for doing that was if I got hit, say, on a bunch of bids on the way down, I want to leave my asks out there because if the market retraced, then it would basically recover the profits on the way up. Now, the strategy would execute anywhere from 1 to maybe 7 or 8 trades an hour, given this. But I want to test out to see if trading more frequently might yield more profits, or is it going to end up just churning more and seeing a lot of friction costs there erode the profit. So basically that time to live on those orders is gone way down. The max now I set it to is 5 minutes, and even less if the market is getting very volatile before I'm out there and refreshing my quotes. So if we take a look at some results right now, so this is the current state of affairs for the 2.4, 2.5, and 2.6 version. I've retired the older versions just so I don't have a zillion instances of this algo running on my server, eating up a bunch of resources. And the 2.6 version has the time to live modification, but does not include the removal of the order book imbalance. So 2.4 versus 2.5 is order book versus no order book imbalance calculations, and then 2.6 has the order book imbalance but has the reduced time to live on the orders before refreshing. So we'll get these running side by side for a while before we decide if one is superior than the other. 2.5 has been out there for about a week now, and from what I'm seeing so far, it actually is inferior to 2.4. So my theory was that, okay, if order book imbalance isn't really predictive of short-term price for Doge and Solana, then why use it to skew the quotes? It could just be adding noise and or actually harming the performance of the strategy. But from what I'm seeing so far, 2.4 is still slightly outperforming 2.5. Now, it's not statistically significant. I haven't had it out there running long enough, but overall, up to this point, 2.4 is actually doing better. So it could be that I just haven't collected enough order book data for Solana and Doge to be able to see the same patterns that I'm seeing with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, obviously there's a ton more volume, especially on Paradex, where I'm pulling this information from, and I might just need to collect more data on Doge and Solana before I start seeing the same patterns. So that's one potential theory of why I'm not seeing the same thing with those coins as I am with Bitcoin. So as far as changes go, so 2.6, I'm adjusting the order time to live to 5 minutes max, and then there was a bug related to the respacing of the best bid and ask once the orders expired. A minor tweak, but I've made that change in 2.6 as well. So here's kind of the evolution of the versions as we are going along, and so I'm tracking the daily progress of each one of these guys, and over the next coming days and weeks, we'll see how they end up performing. Now, if we want to take a look at some actual performance numbers, 2.4 as of right now is the version that's been out there running the longest. It's been out there for 19 days. It says 20, but I started at 0 here, so that's why it's counting that. But basically 19 days. What we're seeing so far is actually half the days are winning. Days where we're profitable. Average day is 3 basis points, so nothing to write home about, except for the fact that we have been profitable. Can't say the same with Solana and Doge. Max drawdown of 0.5%, which has been very good. Standard deviation of 22 basis points, worst day of 0.5% loss, best day of almost 0.5% gain. And the other interesting statistic here is on weekdays we are almost break even, right at break even for as far as averages go, and then the weekends is where we've been making our money. So we don't have enough samples yet to really say if this pattern is going to hold or not, but it is kind of curious. And actually seeing a similar thing in Doge as well. I'll pull those stats up here in just a minute. So here's our equity curve. Not bad. We'll see how it kind of holds up over the long run. We've got a couple of days here where we just got smacked down. This was the 0.5% loss. This one here was nearly 0.5%, and then a lot of little wins. So, and that's kind of what we see. It's right. We got a mean reverting strategy, basically, is what market making is. So you've got a lot of little wins followed by a few large losses, and hopefully those little wins are enough to offset your losing days. So current drawdown here is we're at a 2-day drawdown, and hopefully we're a few hours away from still closing today's close. So we'll hopefully stay positive for the remainder of today and notch up another winning day here. If we take a look at Doge and how that's been doing, you can see we've had more profitable days actually, but our average day is negative 13 basis points, and all those gains, all of our gains have come on the weekends here as well. Actually, we've got 27 basis points winning days on average winning day on the weekends, and negative 28 on the weekdays. Also interesting here is our average is negative, but our median is positive. And this is most likely because we had one very large loss. We got stopped out here on the 23rd with a 3%, negative 3% day. So, this may show some promise, may not. We're sitting at our max drawdown is almost 5%. We've started climbing out of that. Worst day was the day we were stopped out. Best day was 76 basis points positive, but our chart isn't looking super stellar here. Got a couple of, unlike Bitcoin, we got not only got smacked down a couple times, but we got quite a few losing days, smaller losing days here as well. So my primary focus though is getting this thing kind of optimized for Bitcoin first, especially given the fact that I'm having a very hard time with the order book imbalance data, and I've started analyzing the order flow data as well, and seeing a similar pattern where Bitcoin, you can see some clear trends in the relationship between the order flow and the short-term price moves, but you're not seeing the same thing with Doge and Solana. So again, I don't know if this is because I just haven't seen enough data yet, or if these relationships for whatever reason aren't as strong with these coins. Maybe it's less market makers versus retail traders, or just not enough liquidity in general for these patterns to be emerging. So it remains to be seen, but I'll have another video here detailing more about what I'm finding with the order flow and short-term price patterns with it. In the meantime, though, I'm going to keep my data collection on, and hopefully we'll start seeing some more volatility here, because that might help us see some patterns emerge from that as well if things start getting a bit crazy. So, and then the other thing I have is my strategy dashboard still running, giving us a little bit of insight into what is going on with each algo and kind of what it's thinking. So we have the trend regime, volatility regime, and then the current mode that the strategy is operating in. This is the best bid and ask in the market. And then this is our best bid and ask that we're running. So you can see here Solana's been a downtrend, and we're not bidding on it right now because we've gotten some inventory that's been building up. This current number of orders we have placed in the market right now, daily profit and loss, and then some other statistics here related to our profit and loss. So currently running this in a kind of paper trade mode in a mock broker that I've created, or a sim broker, getting fed the order book info from Paradex, so that the paper broker and mock brokers taking that order book info and trying to decide when our orders would get filled and when they wouldn't get filled. Basically, when the price in the book crosses our resting order. My goal is, assuming things are continuing along with Bitcoin and we're still seeing a positive or close, at least somewhat close to positive profitability, I'll put this out in production in a very small funded live account, and we'll start trading it there and compare side by side with the sim account that I'm running it in right now, and see how those results compare with the live data, live trades versus the sim trades, and if the results hold up. So I'm hoping to collect maybe data for another 7 to 10 days on the sim here, and then if things kind of hold up, then we'll deploy this into the live account and see how we do. I'm really hoping for some more volatility. I really want to stress test this thing some more. I haven't seen the Bitcoin strategy stopped out in over a month. I don't know if that's necessarily because improvements I've made to the strategy, being a lot more selective about where the bids and asks are getting placed, as well as being getting in way more of a defensive posture when the market starts getting more volatile or starts trending. So what I don't know is, are things getting better because the strategy itself has improved, or is it because the market is getting quieter in general? So I'd love to see some more volatility before I'm ready to say, okay, yeah, we definitely have an improved strategy here that I would feel comfortable trading with live capital. So that's where we're at right now. We'll see how things kind of go into this the end of this week. Also, very curious to see if this pattern of profitability over the weekend holds up, and if it does, there could be something there. Maybe less market makers trading, people with, the spreads are just getting wider, less liquidity, less trendiness because there's just less usually less news related to the market that's getting put out over the weekend. So might be something there to kind of bump the profitability up with the strategy, getting a bit more aggressive. On the weekends. And the other thing too I want to take a look at is kind of after hours outside of the Asia, Europe, US regular trading hours, kind of in between those market hours, if things kind of get quieter, maybe there's something to take advantage of there as well. So that's something else I'm going to be kind of taking a look at. So anyway, love to hear what you guys are working on. If you have any questions for me regarding technology or strategy, or what exactly it is I'm working on here, I'd love to chat about it. So drop your comments below here, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So I hope you guys are having an awesome week this week, and I will talk to you soon.